And so I've talked about committing city resources and staff to answer questions, solve problems. Larry Spring, the superintendent of schools, has made that same commitment to get that message out, to talk about the program offering, the opportunities that exist here within the city school district, and that it really meets or exceeds some of our suburban neighbors, and that we ask your help in keeping an open mind, listening to some of these things, and just seeing the opportunities that are here in the city of Schenectady. Larry Spring, a great superintendent of schools.
Thank you, everyone. I noticed other people had PowerPoint presentations. I'd like to draw your attention to my presentation that was here at the start.
That everyone is beautiful at the ballet. Every prince has got to have his swan. Yes, everyone is beautiful at the ballet.
Started calling me Twinkle Toes.
Did that bother you?
Nah, I figured let them say what they want. Go to dance class. I grab her shoes and tights and all, but my foot's too small, so I stuff her shoes with extra socks. Run 7 blocks in nothing flat. Hell, I can do that. I can do that. And had it made, and so I stayed the rest of my life.
Our kids are amazing. My name is Larry Spring. I'm the superintendent of schools at Schenectady, and I'm sure that you all know a little bit about our district. We're a small city district, urban district, about 10,000 students. We have neighborhood elementary schools. We have magnet options for parents and kids. You may even know that each of our schools has its own character. Some of them are a little more urban and hip. Some of them look just like suburban neighboring elementary schools from nearby. You might not be aware that we are a school district that is committed to excellence and equity. And I'm proud to be a superintendent of a school district that takes those two words so seriously. We're committed to excellence. The city school district of Schenectady has 56 nationally board certified teachers. For those of you that don't know what that means, the national board certification was created by some researchers at Stanford University who had decided that states weren't doing enough to ensure that teacher certificates were rigorous enough, that they meant something. And so they created this other system that is intended to be like a bar exam for teachers. We have 56 of those teachers. That is more than any other school district in New York State, with the exception of New York City. And in order to get there, New York City has more teachers total than we have students. So quite an accomplishment for our staff. We have been providing international baccalaureate programming for kids in our school district for more than a decade. And for those of you that don't know what international baccalaureate is, I'm sure you're familiar with AP, the Advanced Placement Program, that's governed out of the College Board in New Jersey. IB is just like that, except it's rigorous on an international scale, and it's governed out of Switzerland. That is the differentiator at top-tier colleges. AP doesn't do it anymore. If you want your kid to go to one of these Ivy League schools, you better be thinking IB. And we certainly are the place to go if you want your child to get into NYU, Cornell, Yale, at some of these top places. We also have things for kids that are much more hands-on. We have a Cisco Networking Academy, if you're familiar with Cisco, the network company. Every year we graduate kids with Cisco network certificates, which means that they walk out with a high school diploma and an employability certificate that ensures that they can enter a career field, not an entry-level job making an hourly wage, but they can enter at a career-level position making more money certainly than I ever dreamed of as a high school graduate or even as an undergrad graduating with a history degree. These kids are ready to enter the workforce and they've got lifelong viability with that certificate. And obviously, I don't need to tell you an awful lot about our fine arts program. It's second to none. In our school district, fine arts is not a club that kids can pursue. It's not like other co-curriculars. Fine arts is a serious academic pursuit. It's got serious content to be learned, serious work to be put in, and there are certainly serious rewards to be reaped. I'm constantly impressed, as I hope you were, with the poise and the presence that our students have. The young man that tap danced in the opening number, I've got to tell you, both of my daughters have tremendous crushes on him. My daughters are 5 and 7, but they always ask me, is Henry going to be in this play? But they develop tremendous poise and presence through this program in their performances. They earn scholarships in things like drama to top-notch universities. I have to tell you, before I came to Schenectady, I didn't know that they offered scholarships and things like that. It's amazing what happens. We're also committed to equity. The Schenectady School District is progressive. We're a forward-thinking district. Our staff is committed, deeply committed to the children of Schenectady. Our arts program puts on several shows per year, far more than other school districts, and that allows them to take on material that a traditional school district would shy away from. We ensure that we arm our students well in order to wrestle effectively with issues of race or gender, things that are very serious issues that we have to wrestle with in the adult world. We make sure that they're able to do that. They do it well, they do it with grace, and they do it with aplomb. We're very proud of the staff that help do that. We're very proud of our kids that do that well. Our staff understand the needs of all of our children. We work to respond to all of those needs, and our children leave our schools very well prepared to walk into a college campus, to walk into a workplace, recognizing that diversity is an advantage. It makes us stronger. It makes our workplaces more advantageous. And when our kids walk into workplaces that are not necessarily homogeneous, they do so without batting an eye. They're very well prepared for that. And I also would like to tell you that personally, I have made a choice to live in the district. I purchased a house in the city. It's something I chose to do for a number of reasons, but most importantly, you need to know my kids go to Schenectady schools. They go to 2 different elementary schools for something that I think is kind of a neat reason that I'd like to tell you about. As we were making the decision about schools, and this is as a family, not as a superintendent, we're talking about some of these things, and my soon-to-be kindergartner had decided that there was a principal in the district that was an alumnus of the same college that my wife and I went to. She's got an office full of teddy bears, just the most welcoming, warm place that any child could hope for their first experience as a school and an elementary principal's office. But as we talked around the dinner table, mostly me to my wife, about Schenectady and what it has to offer, what kinds of things we have in the schools, my little 5-year-old daughter announces that she has changed her mind, that that's not the school that she would like to go to. She would like to go to our K-8 International Magnet School, a much bigger school. That's an interesting announcement at dinner. Tell me why. Because I want to be able to take Chinese. And so a 5-year-old daughter is listening to this conversation and deciding that she's going to make this choice about her academic future. And I would love to be able to say that my daughter is wise beyond her years or or that she's gifted, or maybe perhaps that she's just got fabulous parents. But when I really look at myself in the mirror and look at this honestly, I have to say that if that were not a choice, that is not a thought process that she would have gone through. And it's because those are options that we have, that's programming that we have in our school district. She was able to think about those things. It's only because of that level of programming that she was able to think through that process and make a decision about her own well-being. Absent those options, it just never would have happened. So I can tell you, the most important thing that I come across as I talk with parents, and I talk with a lot of them, the most important thing to them about schools is the teacher. They want a teacher for their child that cares for their child, that likes their child. And the thing that I hear again and again and again from parents is that their child's teacher cares an awful lot about their child. My kids love their teachers. They're so happy here. And I think we've got phenomenal, caring staff here in Schenectady. I hope we all keep that in mind. My kids love their teachers. I'm really proud to be the leader of this school district. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for being here. If you have ever any questions about the Schenectady City School District or what's happening or what kinds of programs we have to offer, please give us a call. We want to make sure that people know and understand exactly what we're about because we're really proud of what we have. Thank you.